What we're afraid of is a worldwide pandemic. That is where a disease goes around the world and kills a lot of people. In 1918, the avian flu transferred to man somehow, and it killed 2.5% of its victims, or 2.5% mortality rate. They estimated between 20 and 40 million people were killed in that time. Now, we didn't have antibiotics or viral drugs, and who knows if that could have helped. But in this Ebola, the mortality rate is 50%. That means half the people that catch it die. Period. And there's no cure. Now let's get on to what the avian flu is compared to what they say it is on TV, which is a bunch of bullshit. The avian flu is a flu that's carried in birds. They live with it because it doesn't kill them all. You could say that the vector for the avian flu, as I understand, is with the birds. Okay? Now in 1918, this is what happened. You caught the flu in the morning and you were dead, drowning in blood by midnight. That's how it worked. That's how bad it was. Now, if you want to think between 1 and 1,000, okay, 1 and 1,000, and you pick a number for the worst flu you've ever had in your life, okay? This is to show you how bad the avian flu is. Between 1 and 1,000, the worst flu you had would be number 75, okay? Now, to tell you how bad the avian flu is, between 1 and 1,000, the avian virus or flu is a 450. So you can imagine the worst flu you've ever had, about, I don't know, 4 or 5 times worse. What it did was you would catch it in the morning and it absolutely ripped your body up to where, like I said, you were drowning in blood 24 hours later. That's how bad it is. Now, they proved this by going up to Alaska, and they've had researchers video this, where they've taken some of the Eskimo people that had died during that time, and they were buried there, and besides being dead, they were in a remarkable condition. They took cell samples from those people and found out that they did die of this flu. They isolated the flu. It was an avian flu. What we're worried about mainly with these viruses, like I said about, there's 2 types of viruses. There is your regular virus, and then it goes airborne. They get little hairs on them. And that's the kind that's transmitted through coughs and through the air. If the Ebola goes airborne, we're all screwed. If the avian flu of the pandemic of 1918, somehow that avian flu transferred to humans and it morphed into an airborne flu, and that's why it killed so many. The problem is that if that does happen today, we have virals that might help us. There is no cure for this bullshit, all right? They keep this locked up in vaults that are more secure than any nuclear weapons, any Fort Knox, because it's so damn deadly. And what we're doing is we're sending troops over to this. What are they going to do? What are they going to do when they get sick? We're going to leave them there? No, they're going to come back here. And they get to go to the VA. I mean, I'll tell you what, you do the math. We need our government or CDC to issue, look, a no-go area to this place with a 50% mortality rate, and we need to stop bringing this back into our country. It's a national security issue. Am I wrong here? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I don't want to see this around my family. If Atlanta wants to have all these Ebola patients, God bless them, but do not bring them here. If you want to find out how bad Ebola is and when they found it and everything else, this is a good book to read. Okay? And when I read it, it was academic because small outbreaks would break out, the people would die, and the virus dies with it. But in all the years of research, decades, like 3 decades, that they've tried to find this Ebola vector, or the thing this thing lives with, like the bird flu, the avian flu, the avian virus lives in the bird. They cannot find the vector or the source of the virus. Virus cannot live without a host. But if it transfers to humans, what it does is it kills the host. So anyway, this could be the Mayan prophecy, and this could be the end of the world. I hope you like this series.